Right, so in this video, I'm going to go over how we create 7-figure agency offers in 7 minutes. And the reason I call it this is because we've worked with over 30 6, 7, and 8-figure marketing agencies, and we build out these offers in the acquisition systems, and it's genuinely contributed to generating millions and millions in new deals signed. So what I want to do in this video is walk you through exactly how we create these offers. So how we've done this for ourselves, but how we do it for other marketing agencies as well, and how you can literally just copy and paste this into your business, which is going to allow you to book more meetings. It's going to allow you to stand out from other agencies, raise your prices, make more sales, and a ton of other benefits. And I'm also going to show you exactly how you can use this offer, because most people talk about offers, but they never actually share how you can use it in the day-to-day, in your outreach, in your content. And then at the end of the video, I'll give you some free resources that you can use to create your own offer using some worksheets that we actually implement for our clients right now. And again, you can get that completely free at the end of the video too. So if you don't know who I am, my name's Ethan Welby. I'm the co-founder of Agency Growth Partner. And the reason I'm making this video is because when I first started with my appointment setting agency years back, this is when I learned the importance of offers. So to give a quick story, when I first started out with the appointment setting agency, I fundamentally knew that people wanted clients signed, right? I was working with agencies. I fundamentally knew that these agencies, they needed clients and they needed booked appointments, right? This was extremely simple to me. It was pretty obvious to me. So what I did was I would reach out to these agencies and I would promise, help them get more bookings, help them sign more clients, because I could book meetings so easily for myself. So once I signed on some clients, and the first client that I signed was, they were offering Facebook ads for e-com. And as you probably know, if you're in the space, it's genuinely the most saturated niche that you could get into. So once I started running campaigns for them, it absolutely flopped. I didn't book a single meeting. I didn't get a single positive response. And this went on for weeks, even months. And it was so frustrating because I tried all these, cold email methods. I watched all these YouTube videos. I did LinkedIn outreach. I did Facebook outreach. I did email. I just spent so much time looking at all these scripts, wasting all this time just to get no replies at all. And the problem that I was facing was I was trying to solve this problem at the surface level. I was trying to solve it with a better script, right? With a better platform, with a better method to actually send outreach. But what I found was that the problem was the offer. The problem was that nobody actually wanted Facebook ads for e-com brands because there's so many other people offering the exact same thing. So I had to figure out a way that I could actually stand out from all the other people offering the exact same thing. And if it's the case that you have a marketing agency now and you offer a service that hundreds or if not thousands of other people offer as well, then you might be facing the same problem. Because if you struggle to book meetings, or if you struggle to make sales at high prices, or you struggle to close deals, it's most likely because of your offer, right? You're probably great at what you do. You probably have a great service, but it's just not presented in a way that's appealing to the market. And that's what the offer is. It's purely how your service is presented to the market. So what I started doing for this client that I had when building the offer is everything I'm going to speak about in this video. Everything that allowed them to stand out from other agencies, to book meetings, to sign clients. And once I implemented these changes, everything changed. The results completely shifted from getting absolutely zero replies. And the replies that I did get were just no thanks, stop messaging me, get out of my email inbox, to people actually wanting to get onto a call, being super interested, wanting more information. And once you made this shift, everything changed. So that's what I'm going to cover right now. Now, the first thing that we need to understand is the difference between a service and an offer. Now, a service is what you do, and the offer is the outcomes of what you do. It's how what you do is presented to the market. So a service, for example, might be Facebook ads. But people don't hire someone to do Facebook ads because they just want Facebook ads. They want the outcome of the ads. So in this case, if you're helping e-com brands, the outcome would be more sales. The outcome would be business growth. The outcome would be scaling the company, right? And this is the difference between the service and the offer. So now that we understand the difference, all that we need to do is present this offer in the most appealing, most desirable way possible to the market. And if we can do that, it's going to allow us to stand out from everyone else and get a ton of interest. So one of the best resources that I found when making this shift during my appointment setting days is reading Alex Hormozi's book. It's called $100 Million Offers. I'll link it below. It's a fantastic book. But what I'm going to do in this video is share everything I learned in that book that you can just apply straight away to marketing agencies specifically to help them sign clients. His book is very general. It's focused towards every single business in the world. But in this video, I just want to share exactly what you need right now so you can start implementing it today and just sign some clients pretty quick. So in the book, Alex Hormozi has the value equation. And what this equation is, it's simply an overview of what makes something valuable. So what I'm going to do is walk you through the value equation. I'm going to give you an overview of it, but then I'm just going to share exactly what you need to do today what changes you can make and start seeing results instantly. So the first part of the value equation, I'll put this on screen, is the dream outcome. What is the outcome that the people that we're speaking to wants? Right? So the people that we're speaking to, this is your niche. These are the people that you're helping. So this is chiropractors, marketing agencies, e-com brands, whatever it might be. And we need to figure out what is the dream outcome for them. So there's varying degrees of how specific we can make this outcome. And the more specific that we can get, the more effective this offer will become. So as an example, if I'm helping marketing agencies and I say, hey, I'll help you grow your business, that is not nearly as appealing as if I said, hey, I'll help you generate an extra 10 to 30 qualified bookings with decision makers of high budget established companies that need what you're offering and help you to close at least 20% of them so you can generate an extra 50,000 within 9 months, right? The specificity as to what they want makes the message effective, right? So that's the first component of the value equation. What do they actually want? The second is the perceived likelihood of achievement. What are the chances of them actually getting this outcome? Because anyone can make a claim, but few can make the prospect feel extremely confident that they're going to get this outcome. So the way you can generate confidence in the prospect is by showing past results, by showing case studies, testimonials, but also providing value up front so that it indicates that you know what you're talking about and so that people can trust you when you actually deliver the service. Now, as you can see, these two components are at the top of the value equation, meaning we want to maximize these two components. We want the biggest possible outcome with the highest possible likelihood of achievement. We want to build as much trust as possible that we can get this outcome. Then what you're going to see are two other components at the bottom of the equation, and we want to minimize this as much as possible. So the first is time delay. People want the results as fast as possible. People are going to pay you extra to get the same thing, but quicker, right? It's the same reason why people order, for example, Uber Eats, as opposed to going to the shop, bringing the food back, cutting up the onions, doing all this stuff, prepping the food, putting it in the microwave, putting it in the oven, doing all these things that takes 3 hours, as opposed to just, tapping some things on your phone and getting the food instantly. So people want speed. People want it to be as quick as possible. Secondly, people want it to be effortless. And this is the final component, effort and sacrifice. We want to make it as easy as humanly possible for them to consume what we do and get the outcome. And this is why people value done for you services as opposed to consulting services, because it's less effort for the person who's buying. And going back to the Uber Eats analogy, it's both faster, but it's also zero effort because all you have to do is click some buttons as opposed to doing all these things. And that's why this business is doing so well, because they reduce the time and the effort required to get the same outcome, which is food. So now you have all these things, you have this great understanding of the framework of the value equation, but most people just stop there. They say, okay, this sounds great in theory, but how do I actually use this? So we've worked with way too many marketing agencies at this point, and I'm just gonna give you what's been working best for them, because if you can use this and apply it today, I can guarantee that you will get results instantly. So if you're running a marketing agency right now and you're working with B2B companies or even B2C companies like e-com brands, then what I found to be the most effective messaging is purely just stating a revenue increase, right? So as we go along with this, just apply this example to your own business and see where you can fit in the different components into the value equation. So let's start with the dream outcome. In most cases, the best outcome is just a pure revenue increase, because if we're helping companies, if we're helping businesses, fundamentally, they want to make money. So if we can just tie whatever we're doing to a revenue increase, that's going to be a lot more appealing than anything that would come before that. So the first example is if we're helping marketing agencies, right? This is what we do right now. So instead of saying we'll help you generate an extra 10 appointments every month, a more appealing outcome would be to help them generate an extra $20,000 in monthly recurring revenue. The same if you're helping e-com brands, right? Instead of saying you'll help them grow their business, if you can speak on a specific, tangible outcome, they'll be a lot more interested in what you do because it's so specific, because it's so desirable. So instead of more sales, it is increased revenue. And again, these are all things that we've found from running hundreds and hundreds of campaigns. So just implement it right now and I promise you, you will see results. So step one is to determine the dream outcome of your niche. And again, the key thing that I want to emphasize here is that whenever I tell people to state an outcome, the thing they always say is, oh, but I can't guarantee that. Oh, what if they don't qualify? Oh, what if they don't have this, this, and this? So they're scared to actually say the outcome. But what you need to understand is that the dream outcome isn't the guaranteed amount that you're going to give to every single person that comes onto a call. The dream outcome that you're mentioning here is the expected outcome if they meet a certain criteria. So, for example, if you worked with a 7-figure beauty brand, and because they had all these amazing resources, they had this team, they had the systems, they had everything there, you were able to help them generate an extra $1 million a month. But then you get on a call with, let's say, someone who just started the business. Obviously, you can't guarantee an extra $1 million a month for this new business. And it's okay, because what you can say is that if you meet these certain criteria, so for example, making this much money, having this team, having these marketing assets, then you qualify for this dream outcome of $1 million a month. But in their situation, because they're just starting out, we can't make that promise, but it's okay, we can expect this, this, and this. And people will be completely fine with you saying that, as long as you're upfront about it. And the point is that by making these big claims, it allows them to get onto the call in the first place. Because let's say you didn't make the claim in your offer, in your outreach of adding an extra $1 million a month, you would have never gotten this many people onto the call in the first place. So I want to make this very clear. This isn't a guarantee to every single person that comes onto the call. It's the best case scenario based on what you've done in the past. So step 1, write down your dream outcome, and we'll use this when building out the offer and the outreach at the end of this video. Right, so the next component is the perceived likelihood of achievement. So there's 2 ways we're going to implement this for your agency right now. The first is case studies, and the second is a guarantee. So the first thing, the case studies, the way we're going to do this is in the outreach message, we're going to make the claim of the offer, right? The best possible scenario. And then we're going to back this up with case studies afterwards. So that's going to come soon. I'll show you how to do that. But what's going to come immediately right now is the guarantee, right? So what can we say to increase the perceived likelihood of getting this outcome? So across the board, across every single campaign that we ran, the absolute most effective wording for a guarantee in the offer and in the outreach is the pay on results wording. And the reason that this wording is so effective is because to the prospect, it looks like your incentives are aligned, right? You both want the same thing. If you get results, they pay you. And if you don't get results, then they don't pay you. So there's minimal risk on their end and you take on all the risk. Now, again, there are other guarantees that you could use. For example, if we don't get this outcome, you get your money back. If you don't get this outcome, we work for free until you do. But again, I'm just sharing what we found to work the absolute best. If your goal is to book meetings and sign clients, the pay on results is the best across the board. And again, the biggest thing that I'm gonna get after this video is, oh, but I can't do that. I don't work on a pure performance basis, and that's fine. Because the pay on results wording can mean a lot of different things. And it all depends on how much of an objection you're willing to handle. Because in many cases, with clients that I'm working with right now, the way they structure their pay on results offer is that when they get onto a call, they go through the entire process, and then at the end, when they're pitching the price, it's never like a pure performance basis, like there's no upfront fee and they purely just get paid for results. What it usually is like a setup plus a performance bonus, and in many cases a retainer as well. So how it usually looks is a setup cost plus a small retainer. So a setup cost of, let's say, 5K, 7K, plus a small retainer, so let's say around 2K per month, and then plus a percentage of upside. That's honestly usually what a lot of the clients that I have right now, what they pitch in terms of their sales process. But again, like I said, it all depends on how much of an objection you're willing to handle, because if you make that claim or you make that pitch in a sales call, someone might object and say, hey, it's okay, but I thought this would be like a pure performance basis, a pure, pay when results come in type of relationship. And that's fine. It's not a problem at all. In many cases, you can just handle this objection. And it's honestly very easy. You can just mention that that's not the case right now. Sorry if there's any miscommunication, but this is the actual pricing. And in many cases, they'll actually be fine with it. But again, if you don't actually want to go through all of that and you just want to guarantee that you get new money in the door, which is perfectly fine, you can move on the scale of how much of a pay on results you want to actually offer. So for example, it could just be a setup cost and a percentage of revenue generated or pay per booked appointment, something like that. Or it could even be no setup cost and purely just pay per booked appointments or percentage of revenue generated. And that's perfectly fine. It all just depends where you are in the stage of your agency. So for example, if you're very established, you can easily get away with charging a retainer plus setup cost. But if you're just starting out, you have no case studies, I'd highly recommend with just going with something as close to pure performance as possible, just so you can get new clients in the door. And again, just like the outcome, the key point that I want to emphasize is that by having this pay on results in your copy, in your wording, it's going to drastically increase the number of bookings that you get and the number of people that you get onto calls compared to what you'd be getting if you didn't have that. So again, this is what's worked, this is what's working right now. And I'd highly recommend having it, because even if you get some objections, the amount of calls that you're getting from having this in the copy. It's going to completely outweigh not having it, right? So step 2 is decide on your risk reversal, decide on your guarantee. And again, what we found, the pay and results is the most effective guarantee to have. So just write this down. Then what we want to move on to is the time delay. Now this one is extremely simple. It's just a matter of putting a time frame on getting the outcome. And the key point is that this is best case scenario if they meet certain criteria. It's not the guarantee to every single person that comes on. There's too many variables to do it like that. So again, just keep this in mind. And for the established agencies, what you can do is just use the time frame of your best case study and use the outcome of your best case study. But it can be that simple. If you got great results for one company specifically, just make that your offer, right? That's all it takes. So decide on your time frame, whether that's 6 months, whether that's 3 months, whether that's 14 days, whatever it takes to start getting some results with your offering. So just write that down. And now step 4. So this is effort and sacrifice, right? And what we found to work best is mentioning that it's done for you, and also mentioning if you're taking away some sort of pain or some sort of work that they have to do in setting everything up. So for example, if your onboarding is super streamlined, it's super quick, you can say, for example, that you'll help them to get this outcome in this time frame, and you don't even have to do this, long onboarding thing that most other agencies would require you to do, right? So if there's any sort of unique selling point, any sort of unique mechanism that allows you to make it easier for the prospect, you can mention that in the offer as well. So for us, we mention that what we do is completely done for you. So instead of them thinking it's some course or some consulting gig, they see immediately that we take care of everything from building the offer to building the outbound system to helping them with sales as well. And then it's just a lot more appealing. All right, so step 4, determine how you're going to reduce the effort and sacrifice required on their end. And again, what we found is that mentioning that it's done for you, mentioning any unique selling points, that is what makes it extremely effective in the offer and in the outreach too. So at this point, you should have all 4 components of what you need to build your offer and start using it in your outreach. So finally, what I want to do is just walk you through exactly how you can use this practically and start seeing results from it. So the first thing that we need to do is determine how we're going to present this offer. And again, it's extremely simple, but most people overcomplicate the entire process. So all we're going to do, and I'll put this on screen, is compile the offer into a 1-sentence framework. So do this right now. What we're going to do is put all the components that you wrote down into a very simple 1-sentence framework, right? We help niche to get outcome in time frame without effort and sacrifice on a guarantee, right? So for example, we help marketing agencies increase their revenue by 50 to 100K per month within around 6 to 9 months using done for you outbound systems on a complete pay on results basis. That is the offer. That is everything. So now just do the same with whatever you're offering right now. So this could be, we help fashion brands increase their revenue by 100K per month within around 3 months using our done for you advertising systems on a pay on results basis. This is a genuine offer that we've used in the past to get bookings, get results. And that's all you need to do. So now we can use this 1-sentence framework everywhere that prospects are. So for example, in your LinkedIn bio, in your Twitter bio, this could be your headline. We help this niche to get this outcome in this time frame with this mechanism on a guaranteed basis. It's super simple, it's super easy. But the next place that we can use it is the foundation of all of your outreach. So for example, if you're doing outreach on email, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, anywhere, this can be the foundation of your outreach message. So it could go something like this. Hey Name, just checked out your website. Love the case study about, this company. We help agencies to increase their revenue by 50 to 100K within 6 to 9 months using our done for you outbound systems on a complete pay and results basis. Then we're going to input the case studies, right? So this is what I mentioned earlier. And again, we're going to follow the exact same framework. So when we mention the case studies, we're going to make it extremely easy, extremely simple. So we're going to say, we helped this company to get this outcome in this time frame using this mechanism, right? So all we didn't include was the guarantee because you already mentioned it. So your outreach message can follow this extremely simple framework. It starts with a greeting, some personalization, the offer, case study, and then a call to action. So this could be something like, would you be open to me sending some more information? And that's it. That is how you're going to use the offer in a very practical manner. And this is genuinely all you need to do to craft an outreach message that is able to generate 100 bookings every single month using this very simple framework. And the key points is that make the offer specific, make it desirable to the people that you're speaking to, and then also make the case studies specific to the people that you're speaking to. Because if I reached out to a marketing agency and I spoke about the chiropractors that we helped, there wouldn't be as much affinity, there wouldn't be as much relatability to the people that I'm speaking to because We're talking about two different things, marketing agencies and chiropractors. So if you're reaching out to lawyers, mention the case studies about other lawyers. Make it as specific as possible. And again, this is only possible if you have some sort of outbound system so that you can proactively choose who you want to reach out to. Now, this is what we do for our clients right now, but again, you could do this yourself pretty easily. But honestly, this is all you need to start signing clients. And if you found this video useful, subscribe for more, and I will talk to you in the next one.